recently talked to someone about their personal finances, and his mindset around his personal finances and what he prioritized really kind of pissed me off. And I needed to make this video about it because I think too many people think exactly the same way. So for some context, my name is Chris. I've been an accountant for 10 years. I talk to a lot of people every single day about their personal finances. And this one really stuck out to me because this guy was making about $50,000. He has $40,000 worth of debt. Talking to him, you could just hear the stress in his voice of this situation. And I asked him if he's budgeting, and he's like, well, no, I haven't been able to find the time to budget. And he started to keep going about that topic, and I was like, no, we need to pause the conversation right there, because we need to unravel that for sure. So I was like, what do you mean you don't have time for your personal finances? You don't have time to budget? I was like, you just went on this rant about how, you don't think you make enough money and you're trying to pay down this debt. It's very stressful. You're going through this like debt consolidation thing. You want to have $1 million in your bank account in 5 years, but yet you're unwilling to do the first step, which is budgeting. Or said more simply, the first step is tracking. And he's like, yeah, I don't have time between work and other obligations I have going on. I was like, fair enough. And now this message is sort of for everyone else, because I think a lot of people have this mindset, and it doesn't necessarily have to be around personal finances. It can be around anything. It could be like going to the gym, learning a new skill. People just like, oh, I don't have time in my life. But if you actually looked at the time that you do have in your life, you're just not prioritizing it, and you're just prioritizing other things. That's what that means when someone says, I don't have time. It means they're not prioritizing it. But there are things in your life that you are prioritizing. Like, for example, what would happen if you stopped watching Netflix for an hour every night and instead you did the thing that you say you don't have time for? Or what would happen if you woke up an hour earlier every day and you did the thing that you said you didn't have time for? So when you say you don't have time for something, really you're just saying you don't want to make it a priority. But when you're complaining about the certain situations that are impacting your life, and then also saying that you have no time to do it, you're just contradicting yourself. You're not helping yourself. You're just making an excuse. And it's just so weak, okay? I'm not above this either. I've found myself saying the same thing. For example, with this whole personal finance content thing, I was like, I don't have time to make all these videos to help people. And then it's like, you think about it and it's like, well, you're doing this personal finance thing because you want to help people. So now you're saying you don't have time to help people. So it's like, crap. Okay. So then how can I physically make content that goes to people? And even if this video helps one person, that's all I'm trying to do. But I was like, how do I do that? So I was like, well, I drive to work every day and I can shoot a video while I'm driving. Problem solved. Right now, I can make a video every day, and I'm sticking to a commitment that I made. I'm sticking to a thing that I want to make a priority. So if you're sitting there and you're out of shape and you're like, man, I just don't have time to go to the gym. Or if you're sitting there and you're poor and it's like, man, I don't have time to work on my personal finances, or I don't have time to try to increase my income, or I don't have time to try and figure out how to pay down my debt faster, then you're just never gonna win. And you're just gonna keep saying that you don't have time, and you're just going to accept that as the reality, when in fact you do have the time. You're just not prioritizing it. It's as simple as that. You're not prioritizing it. For the guy in my story earlier, he's just going to get in his own way until he actually is in enough pain, maybe, to figure all this out and want to make it happen. But he sounds like he's in pain. Sometimes it's just scared to start. Like a lot of people, if we use the fitness example again, they're like, oh, I'll go to the gym when I start getting in shape. It's like, well, that makes no sense. Get the result before you do the action. That just makes no sense at all. So if you want to win, you gotta put in the work. You gotta look yourself hard in the mirror and say, what is important to me? Now, I'll give you the example in my life, okay? So I've got a 9-to-5 job. I've got 2 kids. I'm trying to lift off this personal finance thing. And time is honestly a struggle most of the days, but I've cut so many things out of my life. I've cut out the Netflix. I've cut out all the things that are not pushing me towards my goals, which are spending time with my family, being a husband, being a dad, spending time on this, trying to build this so I can help people with their personal finances. So if it doesn't align with any of those, then I don't do it. And that means also saying no to friend events, saying no to family events, because again, time is literally so precious. That's why I shoot these videos on my way to work. It's like I'm trying to quote unquote multitask. And more people would win if they just realized what it took to win. Like, it doesn't take much to win. And in personal finance, it's literally just effort and consistency in the beginning. That's it. If you've never budgeted before, Yes, it's tedious. Yes, it can be time consuming in the beginning. Yes, maybe it's confusing if you've never done it. Yes, it could take away from how you want to live your life, whatever the thing is. So if you want to build in an excuse for that, so be it. But if you want to make a change, you got to make a change, and it starts with taking action. That's the only thing you can do. So hopefully this video helped you guys with some motivation around your personal finances. Hopefully this video just helps one person change their thought process. I am uploading daily videos onto YouTube about personal finance, mindset, strategy, implementation, etc. So if you found value, make sure to smash the like, do all that other fancy stuff, and I will see you in the next one.